The Burston Bears Get Stage Fright by Stan and Jan Berenstain. The Burston Bears Get Stage Fright. Most little bears like to play, to show off, read aloud, and to sing, but on a stage in the spotlight, for some, the play's not the thing. The Burston Bears Get Stage Fright by Stan and Jan Berenstain. On the way to school one day, Sister Bear, Brother Bear, and Cousin Freddie got to talking about an important subject. Their teachers. Teacher Bob is tough, but fair, said Freddie, who was in the same class as Brother. Brother Bear agreed. How about your teacher? Is she easy or hard? He asked Sister. Teacher Jane isn't easy or hard, Sister said. She's good. The bell rang and the cubs were ready for the school day. The reason Sister thought Teacher Jane was good was that she made things interesting. When they were learning to add and subtract, Teacher Jane set up a pretend store with play money and a toy cash register to help the cubs learn, and it was fun. When the class was studying words and ideas, they made posters. That helped them learn too. And sometimes, in reading class, instead of you just reading from their books, they acted out the stories. That's what they were doing with Grizzly Stiltskin, the story of a funny old elf bear who was sure that nobody could ever guess his name. Sister Bear was acting out the part of the miller's daughter, who becomes a princess and has to spin straw into gold. They had to come to the part where the princess has one last chance to guess the elf bear's name. Ah, good sir, we've come to the end of our guessing game, because I say, Grizzly Stiltskin is your name? Read Sister in a loud, clear voice. That's when Grizzly Stiltskin flies into a rage and disappears into a puff of smoke, and the princess lives happily ever after. That was very good, class. So good, in fact, I have a surprise for you. I'm in charge of the school play this year. And guess what? The play is going to be Grizzly Stiltskin, and some of you will have parts in it, said Teacher Jane. Then she gave out the parts. One of them had Sister's name on it. What fun! What excitement! Sister was going to be in the school play on the auditorium stage, with scenery and costumes and makeup and everything. It turned out that Brother and Freddie had gotten parts too. Brother was going to be the woods bear who finds out the elf bear's name, while Freddie was going to play the part of Grizzly Stiltskin himself. Who are you going to be? Freddie asked Sister, when Sister hadn't even thought to look to turn her part. It said the princess. Wow, that's the main part, said Brother and Freddie. Well, how about that? My little princess is going to play the part of the princess. Say, we'd better tell Grizzly, Gramps, and Gran, and Uncle Willie, and Aunt Min, said Papa Bear when he heard the news. Calm yourself, dear. Sister has a lot of work ahead of her. She doesn't need a lot of fuss and excitement, said Mama, taking Papa aside. You're absolutely right, my dear, said Papa. Yeah, why all the fuss? It's just a dopey school play. I already know my whole part. Hear me, O princess. I was deep in the forest, and this is what I heard. The princess's firstborn shall be mine. And as she had guesses 9 times 9, then she could not win the guessing game, 'cause Grizzly Stiltskin is my name. See? Nothing to it, he said. But Sister wasn't so sure. She was beginning to feel a little nervous about the whole thing. The next day, when Teacher Jane asked to take a message to the office, Sister decided to take a shortcut through the auditorium. She had been in the auditorium many times, of course, but she had never been on the stage. She climbed the steps and looked out over the rows. It looked enormous. Then she imagined all the seats filled with everybody in the school, and Grizzly Gramps and Gran, and Uncle Willie and Aunt Min. It looked even more enormous. "Why the long face?" asked Brother on the way home from school. Sister told him that she was worried about the play. "Relax, there's nothing to it. It's a piece of cake," he said. "Why, I could do my part standing on my head. Hear me, old princess. Hanging from a branch. Hear me, old princess. And from inside a log. Hear me, old princess." Cousin Freddie and the gang thought Brother was pretty funny, but Sister didn't even smile. That evening, Sister's worries all came out. Reading a part in class just isn't the same as getting up in front of the whole school, and if I have to learn it all by heart, how am I ever going to do it? She wailed. "The same way you learn anything else, line by line, page by page. Papa and I will help you," said Mamma. "Besides, you already know lots of things by heart. The alphabet, dozens of songs and rhymes, the Pledge of Allegiance. Why, I bet you know enough things by heart to fill a book. You already know the story. All you have to do is to learn your part and practice," she concluded. That's what Sister did. She learned her part line by line. She learned her part line by line and page by page. And she practiced. She practiced in her room in front of her toys. "Oh, good sir." She practiced in the field in front of her forest friends. "We come to the end of our guessing game." She practiced in front of Mama and Papa. "Because Grizzly Stiltskin is your name." "That was wonderful, sweetie. Letter perfect," said Papa, applauding. "Yes, but practicing in front of my toys and forest friends and you and Mama isn't the same as getting up on stage in front of the whole school. How do I practice for that?" sighed Sister. "Ah, sweetie, there are some things in life you can't practice. You just gotta do them," said Mama. "But what if I get nervous and scared?" asked Sister. "Oh, but you will," said Mama. "I will?" Sister asked. "Of course, everybody gets nervous when they have to perform in front of an audience, even famous opera singers and star athletes. But if you know it's natural and you expect to be a little nervous, it won't really bother you that much, and you'll do yourself proud," said Mama. "And besides, you'll be having a big rehearsal in the auditorium. That'll help. Now, where's that brother of yours? I gotta finish his costume. I do wish he'd take this thing a little more seriously," she added. "Don't worry about him, Mama. He can do his part standing on his head," said Sister. The rehearsal did help, but it was an empty auditorium. Still, it wasn't the same as a real live audience. And now, at last, the moment had come. The curtain was opening on the Bear Country School's production of Grizzly Stiltskin. And there was Sister all alone on the big stage, looking out at the whole school and Grizzly Gramps and Gran and Uncle Willie and Aunt Min. It was a little scary, but also very exciting. Then she heard a loud, clear voice saying, "I am the miller's daughter, and woe is me, for my father has told the king I can spin straw into gold, and in truth I cannot." It took a split second to realize that the voice was hers. From then on, everything went beautifully. There was one little rough spot near the end, and when it was time for Brother to do his part, he came on stage in his handsome woods bear costume. He looked out at the hundreds of eyes staring at him and completely forgot what he was supposed to say. "I can't remember my lines," he whispered. Why don't you try standing on your head? Whispered sister, but then she took pity on him and helped him with his lines. The play ended magnificently, with Grizzly Stiltskin flying into a fury and disappearing into a puff of smoke. The applause was long and loud. After the show, Mama and Papa came backstage. Terrific show! Terrific! Said Papa. Congratulations on a job well done, said Mama. A piece of cake, said Princess Sister. The end.